Hi, everybody. My name is Steve Kuchin, and I wanted to tell you a story that happened to me starting about 30 days ago, and it's quite exceptional for me. I found something that is going to be a revolutionary product on this planet. I'm a holistic health practitioner here in San Diego, California, and I had actually reason I got into the field was had a tragedy in 2004. Lost my son to brain cancer. His name was Jesse. He was only 6 years old. And I've been studying ever since how to mitigate, how to prevent disease, and if somebody has some kind of ailment, how to help them get out of it. Um, I love taking nutrition. I love taking doctor-only supplements and so forth. And personally, my body, I beat it up. I used to work in marine construction before my son's tragedy, and I worked 30 years in that offshore on ships, freezing my body in 20 and 30-degree weather, building offshore islands up in the Arctic, and I beat up my body, and so I had rheumatism in my knees, severe to the point that I decided, well, I have to move to California to warm up a bit, and because I couldn't stand the cold up in Canada anymore. Um, and my pain was here in California, mitigated by doctor-only supplements. Um, but it's funny, after I started taking the youth crystals, I've been taking them for 30 days. I have no arthritic pain in my left knee whatsoever, and I could actually go down to a full squat after 30 days of taking the youth crystal product. What was also amazing is actually not a weight loss product, but within 7 days, I lost 10 pounds. Amazing. Just I'm I'm speechless. I haven't seen product work this quick. And every time I put somebody on a product, within let's say a week, maybe 2 3 days even, it produces a result. Just astounding. We'll get into why that is the case and how it works and everything like that. I love the science of it, so I'll explain that to you. But I'd like to talk a little bit about Josh Daniel right now. He's the creator and he's the owner of Celluvation, the company called Celluvation, and he's the creator of the Celluvation Crystals. Josh started actually as a computer animator in Hollywood, and he was one of the first to do that, and he worked long, arduous hours, and coffee and energy drinks never really cut the mustard there, so to speak. And so he started investigating herbs and botanicals, and he got really interested in it. So he actually moved to Hong Kong and the South Pacific, where actually it is Southeast Asia, my mistake, Southeast Asia. And um, he investigated herbs and plants in their own environment. And from this is where this is the genesis of the youth crystals, this genesis of the Celluvation crystals. This is where it all began. He had an interesting idea because this idea was the basis of these. He said, he was dealt information on computers and so forth, how to animate a screen. He could take an algorithm and make it the same algorithm do multiple functions. Like it could be a flock of geese. It could be a pigeon. It could be a herd of elephants. It could be whatever he designated it to be. So it was, he thought of this as an idea that he might possibly imbue water, for example, with special frequencies that could help people get more energy. He accomplished that. After he accomplished that, he started shipping out the water, and that proved rather costly because it had to be in glass containers and so forth, but it was a big demand from medical doctors and naturopathic doctors for that product. And so he said, I have to do it the smarter way. So he started searching the world for the crystal, and that's how he ended up in Southeast Asia, uh, um, studying plants and so forth. So he got the crystals imbued with the frequencies, start shipping that out. Now, for the last 3 years, we've had astounding results with this, and we're going to get into the specifics of what these results are. Now, I'd like to show you a little bit of a slideshow if I could, just to get you a little bit into the science and how this all works. I'm going to share my screen with you here. And we should go to full view here. Okay, here we go. Okay, living life to the fullest. So what is life all about? Well, there's a couple of goals I think we all have. And there are three of them I have here: health, wealth, and beauty. Of course, happiness I should have put on there too. And this is for ourselves and especially for our lovely children, our gorgeous children. They're God's gift to us. That's what we need: health, wealth, and beauty. And health is composed of emotional, spiritual health, and also physical well-being. So if we're emotionally messed up, our body doesn't function well, and vice versa. Our bodies don't function well, we're spiritually suppressed also. So it's a balance, a really good balance. And physical health, well, this is where we push ourselves to do things like swimming, Olympic pools, or running marathons, or just even bicycling on a Sunday with our children. Just having fun with our bodies and pushing them, because let you know, muscles, they're really lazy, and they're stupid. They'll just lie there. They'll just atrophy. You got to really push the muscles in order to make them work. And it's all about balance, the cellular balance inside and outside the cells. We have trillions of atoms, and we have detectable 60 chemical elements in our body. And our body is composed of 60% of water. That's a lot of water. And look at this, Mother Earth, she's composed of 71% of water. What a coincidence. Look at that. And what is this water? Scientifically, water is H2O. It has 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen. And the hydrogen is 11% by mass, and 67% hydrogen by atomic percentage. Here's a lovely molecule of water: 2 hydrogens and an oxygen. Hydrogen is actually on the periodic table number 1 because it has 1 proton, 1 neutron, 1 electron. It is the basis for all the things that you see. Look around you, look around your environment. This here is the first element that was ever created by our God. It's so small, it's tiny, can permeate tissue, and we'll get into that a little bit later. It's a gorgeous little molecule. And what can it do here? There's a huge noise now in the medical community having to do with hydrogen. They're putting hydrogen, like in inhalation studies, they're imbuing water with hydrogen and consuming that way. Actually, hydrogen is created right in your gut every single day. But hydrogen, what it does is act as a therapeutic antioxidant by selectively reducing cytotoxic oxygen radicals. And what does that mean? Hydrogen is an antioxidant, and it makes you younger. And hydrogen is so effective because it can permeate tissue, all kinds of tissue. As a matter of fact, if you even have hydrogen in a glass container and seal it, it'll escape out of that glass. It's that powerful. So we need this in our body. And free radical damage, as I mentioned earlier, causes oxidation and inflammation and is the source of every disease. It causes cell death and aging. Oxidation damages DNA, RNA, proteins, and their beautiful lipid cell membranes. It damages the source structure of our body. Oxidation. It's like a rusting. Like you rust inside your body, right? And here is, with people who are rusting really quickly, for example, like me, my joints were rusting, rheumatoid arthritis was created, okay? Immune systems, chronic autoimmune disorders, people are rusting inside themselves with this free radical damage. Blood vessels, hypertension, cholesterol, high triglycerides, lungs, COPD, chronic bronchitis, eyes, cataracts, free radical oxidation stress for brain. Our brains are inflamed. People are on so many antidepressants and all that. They're taking handfuls of those things because their brains are inflamed. That's what's going on in there. Cancer even in the brain, autism, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. This is all inflammatory processes. Now let's look at the heart, stroke, high blood pressure, arteriosclerosis, kidney failure, renal disease, skin, all those dreaded wrinkles. We spend billions and billions of dollars trying to get rid of those wrinkles. Well, if anybody knew that was that just because they're free radical damage, wow. And eczema, psoriasis, and multi-organ failure, like chronic fatigue, diabetes, fibromyalgia, Lyme disease, a lot of Lyme disease patients coming up in the United States nowadays. All these are the result of free radical oxidative stress. Every single. Now, what are we going to do about this? We're going to do something. We can't just sit around. We can't sit on our hands. We're going to take some celluvation crystals. And because they're made from baobab, rooibos, acerola cherry, silica from bamboo, silica from horsetail extract, Himalayan salt, glycine, L-lysine, L-proline, and ascorbic acid. These are then, all these crystals are composited with these particular frequencies. HGH, this is the hormone that we had before we were 20 years old and helped us grow up to the age of maybe even 30. And then it dissipated. Glutathione, master antioxidant. Vitamin C, hydrogen, that wonderful little molecule, and collagen. These are all composited and imbued into the crystals. We take the crystals in the tea, we put into 8 ounces of warm, I like it a little bit hotter water, and that whole container, the frequencies are released, and you take them inside your body. Imagine all these wonderful things I talked about being inside your body. Guess what happens? Yep, it's exactly what happened to me. And how does it happen? I'll give you an example. This is a real, I love this little slide. The H2 molecule is very simple. It activates a protein called KEAP1. The KEAP1 is located in the cytoplasm of the cell. That's between the nucleus and the cell membrane. It hangs around there, and as soon as it gets activated, the NRF2 pathway activates the NRF2 pathway. The NRF2 pathway changes, and it then is able to and go and contact the genome. In the genome, it activates antifibrotic, anti-inflammatory, and antioxidant genes in the genome. Very powerful pathway. Endogenously produced glutathione. Glutathione, the master antioxidant. I'll give you an example. Vitamin C, when it handles one free radical, it's spent. It's done. It's finished. A glutathione, however, it can handle free radicals over and over and over, up to 1 million times for one glutathione particle. Very valuable, especially in phase 2 of our liver detox. Very, very valuable for that particular area. It helps our liver. And guess what? We have that frequency in our crystals. Catalase, superoxide dismutase, SOD, are also increased in production. These are body-produced antioxidants, very powerful ones, and these all help mitigate free radical damage. So our water in our cells should be 2/3 of the body weight, or the mass, I should say, and outside the cell should be 1/3 of the body water. Okay, extracellular outside, 1/3, inside, 2/3. Remember that relationship, okay? I had this slides sent to me by a really good doctor, Dr. Jinda Kelly in Australia, and she used a bioimpedance analysis screening tool that determines the composition of each individual. Intracellular water, extracellular water. Let's see what her findings are. She did 12 months of research with these crystals. Here's a female patient. Intracellular water here for her was, when she started, was 45%. Extracellular water, 54%. Okay, this is backwards. Intracellular should have been, inside the cell should have been 54%. Outside should have been 45. So she had, let's see what happens when she starts taking the crystals. On June 10th, in 2015, intracellular water was at 53%. After the crystals, it went up to 58%. a 5% increase inside the cells. Outside the cells, extracellular water, 47%, went down to 42%. So in other words, that's what happened with me. The water was driven inside my cells. My cellular metabolism was increased, and thereby I was able to eliminate waste and burn fuel, burn the glucose that I was putting inside my body. Now, how is this accomplished? The lady drank 70 fluid ounces of water per day, 2 liters, and this is what happened when we had her taking it in cold water. You see, in Chinese medicine, when you take something warm, it actually assimilates better in the body and acts quicker. So cold water here, it was average, the ATM quality index. That means active tissue mass is just the quality of your muscle fiber. What quality of it is. So it was just an average, and actually her cellular fluid balance was poor. So taking the crystals now with warm water, look at that ATM increased, excellent. Cellular fluid balance went to excellent also. So the takeaway from these slides is please take the crystals with warm water. I like mine taken a little bit hotter with tea, like as a tea. Now, this is before hydration, 53-year-old patient, ATM poor, cellular fluid balance poor, and they were drinking 1.6, I think it's liters, yeah, 1.6 liters of water per day to receive that graph score. 12 hours later, the cellular fluid balance went to excellent already, and they only had to drink 1.45 liters of water to get that. And 1 month later, look at this. ATM went to excellent, cellular fluid balance went to excellent, and they only drank 1.2 liters of water. Amazing. How does it improve your heart rate? How does celluvation improve your heart rate? Well, the heart rate went for this patient from 81 to 72. It actually dropped in beats per minute. Now, there's a subject's longevity reading, and it was 33.5 here. It went, and the higher the number, the better. It went to 44. So this was really, really quite astounding. It actually produces less high blood pressure that way because your heart is not pounding so much to get the blood through all your circulation. Let's see what else we have now. The FDA listed 6 essential nutrients: oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, sulfur, and cobalt. And look at this here. We have our friend hydrogen here, the one we discussed earlier. And we have the hydrogen frequency in our crystals. Okay, let's take a look. Pretend this is a cell. And these all cells are dehydrated. This is what happens when you get older. All your cells get dehydrated, and this is the lipid membrane. The outside membrane of a cell looks like this. So how in tarnation is nutrients supposed to enter that thing? They try to get into it, they can't. Or how is waste products supposed to leave that cell properly? It doesn't happen. What are we supposed to do? This is what we're supposed to have for a cell structure. A nice plump cells, fully hydrated. Remember, 2/3 water inside the cell, 1/3 outside. And just envision a glass. And we put in the glass, we fill it up with these beautiful grapes like this, okay? Then we put in some water to fill the voids where the grapes aren't in. So you get a picture of that. The glass is your body, full of grapes, with a little bit of water on the outside of the grapes and most of the water inside. That is what cellular structure should look like. And that is exactly the reason is the Celluvation Crystals work, is the difference is hydration. A simple thing as hydration can undo so many things in the body and help the body to function better, to operate better, to increase metabolism, to burn fuel better with simple hydration. So folks, never be afraid to try something new. Remember, amateurs build the Ark and professionals build the Titanic. So as you can see, folks, the effect of the Celluvation Crystals is quite profound. And I invite you first to try our cutting edge products today. And secondly, If you're interested, we are just starting our distribution to the world. This is just starting. We're looking for a few good people to be our independent distributors who really want to help someone out with their health, and also who also are interested in helping the health of their finances. So please contact the people who gave you, or the person who gave you this video. And I really appreciate that you took the time in order to listen to me. Thank you very much.